This nation has been victimized by rampant election fraud in the
not
past,
right.
and
No.
there's
That
so
is not
much
true.
evidence of it this year.
No,
Don't say it's not true.
true.
I'd like to cite
But
the
it's-
evidence.
it's not-
Just a
We have
moment.
cited the evidence so many times
No,
on CNN.
This is
Excuse me.
irresponsible and dangerous and reckless. There are facts
The
and there are
Pew
untruths.
Foundation says 1 out of every 8 voter registrations is either a dead person, a duplicate,
Right, but they're not
or an
voting,
illegal
they're
voter.
We had the Secretary of State who manages the elections in the state of Ohio,
A Republican.
a Republican, who's going to vote for Mr. Trump, by the way, strongly saying that there is no evidence of widespread
course
election
not.
fraud in the state of Ohio or the nation. So
Of
let's
course.
just dispense
Wait a
with
second. The New York City Election Commissioner Al Sharpton said the other day there is rampant fraud in New York.
There is
And
not
then Mayor de
rampant.
Blasio said,
Please, it's
"Shut up,
so-
kid.
it is
The
so-
incumbents
no,
always
I can't,
protect
I
the
can't,
system,
I can't.
no
There's
matter
no
how
evidence,
corrupt it is."
There's no evidence
sorry,
of voter
Excuse
fraud,
me,
widespread voter fraud in this country.
The cooperative congressional research report cited by the Washington Post points out that somewhere between 2 and 5%
Betsy, please,
of illegal voters
I can't.
vote.
We've cited
Those
so much
who are
evidence on.
registered vote.
Stop, or I'm going to have to cut this interview short.
You don't want people to hear the evidence?
It's not
I
facts.
have presented the evidence to my viewers, and my viewers trust me to tell them the truth. We've cited studies. I've talked to secretaries of state who are Republicans. I've talked to many Republican officials who say
Secretaries
there's
of
not
state
widespread
are elected.
fraud.
They're part of the system.
Okay, you know what? I'm sorry, but listen, this isn't okay anymore. I'm with the nasty woman in the pantsuit. This is horrible. You are threatening the integrity of our democratic process.
No,
you
I
are
wanted
threatening.
to be
no,
honest.
excuse me. You are. You are threatening, by the way, what makes this country great. We
Oh,
are
no.
not a country that transitions power through violence
That's right.
and threats.
Look,
and,
I
and
have
through
a
the sort of
PhD in
behavior,
American
but
history,
I'm not,
and I understand the
Betsy.
value of a peaceful transition of power from one party to the next. But I
God.
don't understand why the Democratic Party
You-
repeatedly insists on defending fraudulent
Okay,
voter
because
rolls.
it's not happening.
It's
Listen,
not-
there were 1 billion votes. Look, a Loyola study, there were 1 billion. Betsy, I'm
No,
sorry.
there was
I
a
know
Loyola-
facts
Loyola, Maryland.
seem banned in this
That's
election.
right.
But
Oh, no,
please,
I'm
at least when
citing
it comes
the
to the
facts.
integrity of our elections.
And what about the media bias? What about the IRS suppressing conservative
Can I
groups?
speak?
What about the Project Veritas tapes
I
that
thought
showed
I
that
thought you were talking
DNC
about
groups
alleged voter
there
fraud.
are
widespread.
busing
There are,
people illegally from polling
Okay, I'm
place
going
to
to stop
polling
this
place?
right
There
now.
were 1 billion
I'm going to
votes
stop this
cast.
right now.
Put the coffee piggy on it!
I've been telling candidates who have come to see me, you can run the best campaign, you can even become the nominee, and you can have the election stolen from you.
I believe he knows he's an illegitimate president. He knows that there were a bunch of different reasons why the election turned out the way it did. And I take responsibility for those parts of it that I should. But Jane, it was like applying for a job and getting 66 million letters of recommendation and losing to a corrupt human tornado. And so I know that he knows that this wasn't on the level. And I did feel a heavy sense of responsibility. And it was such that, you know, maybe I wasn't as loose or open as I could have been. So I take responsibility for everything I didn't do as well, or my campaign didn't do as well.
Well, you can't take responsibility for Russia.
No, but that's the issue. I really believe that there were unprecedented events in this election, the last election, I mean, that were beyond my understanding and nearly anybody else's. When we started talking in the summer of 2016 about the Russians, you know, I think most of the press and the public goes, what is she talking about?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you can't go around making excuses. They didn't understand the attack that we were unfortunately suffering. So I think now, and here's what I've told all the candidates. I've said, look, you could run the best campaign. You could be the nominee, but you could still lose because, number one, you could lose with voter suppression. And you had Stacey Abrams on,
Yes.
and you know she is a champion for let everybody vote, and at the end of the day, who wins wins, and who doesn't doesn't. Or you could lose because of hacking and theft of material.
He's an illegitimate president in my mind. That's it. I think all the talk about impeachment and what the Democrats should do, that's fine. It's theoretical at this point. Let them investigate. Let them subpoena. Let them go to the Supreme Court. He's illegitimate. And my biggest fear is that he's going to do it again with the help of Vlad, his best pal, and we're going to be stuck for 6 more years with this guy. And that is terrifying. It's terrifying.
Would you be my vice presidential candidate? Folks, look, I absolutely agree. And one of the things we have to do here